Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about NYX Cosmetics. And now I get so many requests from you guys wanting me to do some sort of video just going through the brand and letting you guys know all of my favorite products, my top tier recommendations. So I figured I would do that for you guys today. So I really hope you guys enjoy this best of NYX video. Do not forget to let me know what your favorite products from NYX is. Also let me know what other best of brand you like to see from me, what other brands you like to see me sort of showcase. Give this video a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and that is basically it, so let's get right into it. Now the first product that I want to talk about is the Strobe of Genius Highlighting Palette from NYX. Now this highlighting palette from NYX is like a dream come true. So you know that very creamy and very buttery texture that a lot of high-end highlighters have? That is what all the highlighters in this palette have. I'm wearing this shade today on the tops of my cheekbones, and you could see it just gives my skin just such a beautiful subtle glow without there being any type of chunkiness or any type of unflattering sparkles. You could honestly just have this palette and really not have to buy any other highlighters because you almost have every single thing that you could need. You have more of a white gold, more of a rose gold, more of a champagne, and then you also have some really interesting colors in here as well. There's a really awesome blue shade in here. It doesn't come off like a bright blue, but it has a little bit of a lilac iridescence to it when you apply it to the tops of cheekbones. So I really think there's something for everybody in here, and also really suits a lot of different skin tones. Another face product that I think I use almost every single day is the NYX HD Finishing Powder in the shade Banana. So yellow-based powders like this one are supposed to really brighten up wherever you apply it. Now, what I don't like about yellow-based powders typically is I find they're too yellow, and they will literally just make my under eyes look yellow. They will not brighten them very much. But what I like about this powder, even though it has a slight banana yellow tint to it, it's not overly yellow that it's just gonna make my under eyes basically look like I applied a yellow powder underneath it, because that's not the point of a yellow powder. And that's not the only reason why I love this powder. When you touch it, it is so soft and so finely milled that it just sits so nicely on the skin, and it just sets my concealer just perfectly. My concealer will not crease throughout the day if I use this, and it's just one of my favorites. So moving on to some blushes. I remember watching YouTube videos 7 years ago, and everybody was always talking about NYX blushes, and I couldn't get them in Canada at that point, so I was always so jealous and just always wanted to try the NYX blushes. So I'm really excited now that I'm able to use them because they are just beautiful. So these are the NYX High Definition blushes. The formula in general is just great, and you really can't go wrong with any of the colors that they have. When you touch them, they feel very, very, very smooth. They're very finely milled. The pigmentation is also really great. Some of them are very pigmented, and you gotta sort of be a little bit careful when applying them to your cheeks because they could look a little bit clowny if you over apply them. You were also able to sort of soften them and just apply a very small amount to get just the perfect flush on your cheeks. So I narrowed down my 3 favorite shades, and the first one over here is called Hamptons. There's really not much to say about this color. It's just a matte pink blush. The perfect tone of pink. It's not too cool and not too warm. And this shade will really complement a very wide variety of skin tones as well. The next shade over here is called Bright Lights, and this is a peach with a little bit of a golden sheen that actually just makes your skin look so glowy. Another one of my favorites is this one over here called Mauve Out. So this is one of those blushes that are very pigmented, so you really got to be careful with this one in particular. If you don't want an overload of pigment on your cheeks, you sort of gotta go in with a light hand. All right, so now moving on to some NYX eyeshadows. Now my favorite single eyeshadows from NYX are by far the NYX Prismatic eyeshadows. All the eyeshadows in the Prismatic eyeshadow collection are all very intensely metallic. So obviously when you have a shadow like this, you want there to be amazing color payoff. You want them to be smooth. You want them to give you that bam, amazing intense effect, and these definitely do give it to you. For example, this shade in the shade Fireball is this most stunning coppery red shade, and as soon as you touch it, you could just sort of tell that it just has that amazing pigmentation. And look at that, one swipe and you have something that is intense, that is metallic, and that just feels very, very high quality. So I grabbed my 4 favorite shades to talk about with you guys. So the first one is, of course, Fireball. That's the one that I just swatched for you. Another beautiful shade is Liquid Gold. It's more of a bronzy gold. It's not too yellow. It's sort of a little bit more on the neutral side. This is, again, just a very intense and beautiful color. So if you like gold, this is definitely one to check out. Now, one of my all-time favorites also is Girl Talk. This is probably one of my favorite highlighting shade. So I love putting this on the inner corner of my eye, on my brow bone, and even on my cheekbones. It really gives you a very intense, almost metallic looking highlight. And lastly, we have Mermaid, which is a really fun turquoise shade. This is really beautiful. I love to pop this on my lower lash line. So NYX just recently came out with some new eyeshadow palettes, and these are called the Ultimate Shadow Palettes. I can compare these to Makeup Geek, to Anastasia, to MAC eyeshadows. They are so pigmented and creamy, just like all the other eyeshadows that I spoke about. All those adjectives that you're so used to hearing, these eyeshadows are. So this Warm Neutrals palette is just stunning. It almost has everything that you could possibly need to create like a full look in here. You have a mix of shimmers, some mattes, some more like metallic shades, and you'll see in the swatches that I do, the quality is just fantastic. I also want to mention the Bright eyeshadow palette because I do really like it. There are definitely some misses in here. Not every single eyeshadow in here is quite as pigmented as I would like it to be, but I would say like 90% of them are. And the reason why I want to include this is because it is very affordable. If you're the type of person that just doesn't really like to play with color too often, but you still like to play with color every once in a while, then this is a really great palette to buy. Now, another palette that I want to recommend is the Avant Pop palette. This is the Nouveau Chic ones. Just like I said with all the other eyeshadows, the quality is just there. And if you're looking for a really great eyeshadow palette for every day, but you don't want to break the bank, then this is a really great option. And you have some really beautiful colors in here. This green one in particular is one of my favorites. Got some beautiful blues, and you have a lilac shade in here, and then everything else on this side of the palette is all very neutral, so it's really great for every day. So next, let's talk about some of the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencils, and I feel like these are probably another one of like those cult favorite products. These are cream eyeshadow sticks. They come in a pencil form, so they're very, very easy to apply. So let's first talk about Milk, which is the white pencil. Now, I feel like this is definitely the most popular shade. What I like to use the white one for is either to line my inner rim with. This is a fantastic, very pigmented and very creamy eyeliner. But what I like to use it most for is to make eyeshadows really pop. So let's say I'm using a neon eyeshadow. I will put this all over my lid as my base, and I'll blend it out, and then I will put the neon shadow on top of that so that it really shows up more true to color than if I were to just use a normal primer or no primer at all. Another color that I would recommend, this is Black Bean, which is the black shade. So I like to use the black when I have an eyeshadow that has a little bit of like either an iridescence to it or a duochrome or some type of reflex to it that I really want to make stand out. When you apply this as a base and then you put something like the Sugar Pill Lumi pigment on top, it will really just make it pop and come alive. The last jumbo pencil that I have here is called Dark Brown, and honestly I just love this one to use in my waterline because it's just such a beautiful deep and dark brown. But this is just another great base that you can use for a smoky eye if you want just a deep brown base. Honestly, any of the shades from the Jumbo Eye Pencil line you could use as like a base for an eyeshadow look, but these three colors are definitely the three that I would recommend the most, just because I feel like you could get the most use out of them. So now let's talk about some eyeliners. These are the Slide On, Glide On, Stay On, and Definitely Turn On Waterproof Extreme Shine eyeliner. It's the longest eyeliner name you will ever hear, but these are just some of the best. They just glide on and they do really stay on the eyes. The pigmentation in these are beautiful. They come in some amazing colors, and I just use these a ton. So I have 5 colors here that are definitely my favorites and I want to mention to you guys. So the first one, of course, is the black one, and this is called Jet Black. This is one of my favorite black eyeliners. It's not quite like the deepest and darkest black eyeliner that I have, but I just love it because it glides on so easily and it does stay on quite well in my waterline. Another basic color that I just use all the time is the brown one. I believe it's called Brown Perfection, and it is. This is just a very deep and dark, rich brown. Then I have some 3 really fun colors here. The first one here is a stunning olive shade. This is called Golden Olive. This is a olive shade with gold, like almost shimmer in it, and it is so beautiful to put on the waterline, to even use as an eyeshadow base to put on the upper lash line. It's just a gorgeous color. If you want something that is not brown or black but has a little bit of color, but that's not too colorful, this is a really beautiful eyeliner. The next one is called Golden Bronze. This is a very warm bronze shade. Again, if you have blue or green eyes, putting this in your waterline will make your eyes pop like crazy. Lastly, I have a purple eyeliner here that I feel like is pretty unique. This one is called Jewel, and it's sort of like a dusty, grayish lilac purple shade that has some shimmer in it. And this is stunning for all eye colors, but if you have brown eyes, you would love this. This will really make your eyes pop. I love applying this to my lower lashes and sort of smudging it out for a smoky eye. It adds a little bit of that purple hue that really, really makes my eyes pop. So this is definitely another one I would recommend. So now let's move on to the lip products, which is definitely the biggest category. Surprise, surprise. So let's first talk about the NYX lip liners. I would say these are totally comparable to MAC lip liners. They're just like your typical pencil lip liner, nothing fancy, but they work really well. They do glide on the lips quite nicely, and they do last a nice amount of time, and they come in such great colors, and they're very inexpensive. I would say that my most used is definitely nude pink, and this is just a nude pink shades. Another one of my favorites is called Earth Tone, and this is a really beautiful warm brown. So I like using this either for darker nudes or for more vampier colors. This is like my go-to. So the butter lipsticks from NYX are really, really nice. They're very hydrating, more balmy types of lipsticks. So they're not like the most highly pigmented, crazy creamy lipsticks out there. I would say that they're definitely a little bit on the sheer side, but they are buildable. So you're able to get either a wash of color or something that's just a little bit more opaque very easily. They're very hydrating as well. So they are very comfortable just to like pop on your lips. So the first shade that I have over here is called Snowcap, and this is just a very pretty sort of like light peachy pink nude. Another one of my favorites, this is called Pops, and this is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous like mauve pink shade. This is, I believe it's a dupe for the shade Anna from the NARS Audacious lipstick collection. So the NYX liquid suedes are definitely one of my favorites from the NYX like lip collections. I love every single shade in here, but Stone Fox is definitely my favorite because this color is just so incredibly unique. It's like this grayish blue slate shade. The liquid suedes are really nice, but you cannot get them mixed up with liquid lipsticks because they are not liquid lipsticks. They are considered cream lipsticks, so they are like a liquidy formula, but they do not completely dry down, and they do not dry down completely matte. So they have sort of just like the smallest amount of sheen to them, but I do really like them because they're very comfortable to wear, and they are more long wearing than your typical lipstick. The NYX butter glosses. These stole my heart like a few years ago when I first discovered them. These are some of my favorite lip glosses because they are so comfortable to wear. I feel like the name Butter Gloss is just the perfect name for this lip product because they really feel like you're applying butter to your lips. They are not sticky glosses in the slightest. What's really great about these is that the pigmentation is really nice. You could either wear them by themselves and get a very light wash of color, or you could layer them on top of a lipstick and get a really glossy look while still having the lipstick show through. So I have 4 of my favorite shades here that I wanted to mention. My number 1 favorite shade is definitely Creme Brulee, and this is just the perfect pinky nude lip gloss. Another one of my favorites is Angel Food Cake, and this is a beautiful pinky mauve shade. I would say it's a little bit more pigmented than Creme Brulee. You get definitely a lot more color with this one, but like I said, you could still apply it on top of a lipstick and still have the lipstick show through. It's beautiful. Now, if I want just a little bit of color to my lips, but I don't want to wear a bright lipstick, then the Butter Gloss in Cupcake is the one that I wear quite often. This is a very, very pretty brightish corally pink shade. Lastly, I have Meringue, and this is a really, really beautiful cool tone pink, another one that I use quite often. I feel like the soft matte lip creams are sort of like the original liquid lipstick, but they do sort of differ from like the typical liquid lipstick that you would find today. A lot of today's liquid lipsticks do dry down completely, are like completely matte, and are transfer proof. However, these are not transfer proof, but they do still have a matte formula. They have a moussier texture, so they do feel very lightweight on the lips, and I could honestly barely even feel them. And my 3 favorite colors, first one here is Ibiza, which is almost like a muted dusty coral shade, and then Prague, this is just such a beautiful berry shade, and then London is my favorite nude from the collection. It's like sort of a medium nude. So the last product I want to talk about is actually a brush from the NYX brush collection. I feel like the NYX brush collection does not get enough love. Their brushes are so affordable and so great, and the hair that they use is synthetic, but it is like the softest brush hair. It feels so luxurious when you touch it. This one over here is definitely my favorite, and I feel like the most unique in the collection. This is number 06, and it's basically a very fluffy and dense fan brush, and what I like to use this for is to contour. So because it is quite a dense brush, you do get quite a sharp contour line, but because it also is so fluffy, it blends it out just so perfectly, and it stops it from becoming too harsh. And because of the shape of it, it is just perfect for contouring right in your cheekbone. So guys, that completes all of my favorite products from NYX Cosmetics. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and did find it helpful. Don't forget to let me know what your favorite products from NYX is. Give this video a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be another one brand tutorial featuring one of my favorite brands, and that is